everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Weather Seekers podcast. I'm here with one of our newer forecasters. We're going to do a meet and greet here with
Spencer Fielding.
Spencer Fielding. He's here with us today. Just like we did a few episodes ago, we did one with Caleb and I. So we're just going to do one with Spencer here. So welcome to the Weather Seekers podcast.
Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, let's start with the basics. Tell us your name, your title, and how long you've been here in Juneau.
So, Spencer Fielding, I'm a meteorologist at WFO Juneau. I've been here actually just about a year now, so just barely hit the year mark.
Yeah, so late 2022, fall of 2022 is when you got here?
Yep.
So nice. So where are you from? Like, where were you born and raised?
So, originally, I grew up in Utah, so spent pretty much my whole life in Utah, kind of exploring the West, though. But deep down my roots, that's where they go back to. So,
and then your education, because you got a master's.
I did.
Yes, so you went above and beyond what I did. So you can run tops in terms of education around me. So what was your education?
So originally, got into meteorology, loved it, did that. Took a little longer than most, but still got through it. From the University of Utah, made sure to get that done, and got out. Was trying to get into the weather service at that point. Wasn't having the best of luck, so ended up actually getting a job at back with the ski resort I was working with them full time, and then also managed to pick up a job as a weather observer for the international airport in Salt Lake. So,
yeah. So in terms of aviation forecasting, you have a big leg up on me. So that was kind of nice to have you come along and you were able to point out, airport codes and all that stuff. So like just right when you showed up, I was already starting to learn from you. That was pretty fun just to have that extra background coming into to the weather service. So, and you said you got a master's?
I did.
What was is there a focus in your master's or was it just general meteorology?
So I actually didn't get my master's in meteorology. My master's is in Geographic Information Systems, so GIS, which anyone who knows GIS realizes how much of a role it plays in a lot of things in really any kind of world and environment. Meteorology works great. People who work in the engineering, even medical. I mean, saw so much use of GIS when COVID-19 during the pandemic. That was a huge example of GIS at its finest. So did that in 2020. Because of COVID, I was bored out of my mind at home, nothing going on, and tired of playing video games for 10 hours a day, waiting for work. So got a master's degree and did that. And then I was still applying to the weather service.
All right, so you go back to school, and I detailed cars. So that's very nice motivation there. I can clean your car. He can do a lot more stuff. Okay, so you couldn't get into the weather service, so you went into more education. So, but why was your aim to get into the weather service in the first place?
So, the reason why I wanted to get into the weather service was because I liked how they did things in meteorology. I like that being able to provide a forecast and provide help to people so they know what's going on and they can plan. And ultimately, that the core mission statement of the National Weather Service, for the protection of life and property, and that really just rung with me really well. And I like that, and that's what's I want to do that.
All right, well, that's excellent. So you basically you had that job at the airport being a weather observer, and you just jumped from there to the weather service. Was that your path? You didn't have any other jobs between the two?
No, I still worked at that ski resort job, and so at that time I was doing a lot of working 5 days with them, and then my 2 days at the airport. So a lot of days we're working a lot, not much time off, but doing the weather observing, and then at the resort I was actually becoming more of their weather focal point at that point because they realized I had a skill that I could provide that not many others really knew about. So they were starting to tap me for that weather knowledge because they realized I had a plethora of it. But then by the time I got into the weather service, it's no, I'd rather do the weather service. It's more up my alley. Granted, that job was honestly a great job.
Yeah. I bet. You'd been telling stories about all the things that you would do, when we're chatting on the ops floor, and sounds like it was fun. But what brought you to Juneau specifically? Obviously, you could have gone to Florida, but you chose Juneau. So why come after Juneau?
So I saw Juneau as a chance to get out of Utah, get somewhere else, and really kind of explore, kind of get to know someplace different. And I've always kind of wanted to come to Alaska and experience it and see what go explore one of the last frontier and see what's going on up here. And getting the job up here just gave me that opportunity to come up and get to see what a lot of Southeast is like, and just how wild and remote it can be, but also how much fun.
Yeah, you sound a lot like Caleb, where I wanted to go visit there, so I'll just move. And
yeah, definitely very similar to Caleb. Like, I want to go experience it and say I've been to Alaska and lived there for a while.
Excellent. So as far as, with the job here, we make forecasts, which has its own challenges, pattern recognition, a lot of statistical analysis, that kind of thing. And then the service side of things, where we make a forecast and then we tell people about it. What were some other non-weather jobs that you maybe had either through college or in high school that prepared you for a job in the weather service?
Definitely goes back to that job working with the ski resort. They so much on like customer service, talking to people, getting to explain to them, hey, here's what's going on, here's why, here's what we think, and just really that oriented people facing, like talking and interaction and having that one-on-one experience with people.
Yeah, that's excellent. And then so you come here and you're here in the weather service, but what do you do outside of work? Like, what are some of the interests you have? Like, do you hunt? Do you fish? Do you hike? Like, what are some other things you do outside of the office?
So what I like to do, kind of my downtime, is like to try to get out, but I also don't mind staying in. Like to go hiking, love to ski, obviously, big passion of mine. But also really enjoy playing video games with my friends and that, and trying to
like online
video games, coordinate with them, meet up online and have fun.
Yeah. Do you play Mario Kart at all?
I do.
Yeah.
It's always a fun one.
That's the one I grew up playing.
Mario Kart was a good one, and just a lot of different video games that you can.
All right. And so as far as like coming here and working in the office in the day-to-day, what are some of the extra duties that you enjoy doing? Because obviously we come and make a forecast, we issue, the TAFs, and put out graphics on social media, help communicate the forecast, things like that. But is there anything else that you enjoy doing? I know one particular thing that comes to mind is that our hydrology program. You seem like you're dabbling into that maybe a little bit. So is that your future, or do you want to go stick with the aviation, or are you going to do both?
That's the thing. It's like I'm kind of dabbling in both, kind of looking at the hydrology, also the aviation, because obviously both interest me, and it's kind of an exciting thing to do. Mm-hmm. And here in Southeast, it's like they're both very pertinent and very prominent things that need to be focused on.
Yeah.
So kind of getting that experience to try both of them out, it's like, okay, why not? And they both interest me. So getting to know that, getting that time with the people that are mainly over it and seeing what they have to say and letting them show me some more things that I might not know about.
Excellent. Well, anything else you want to say? Get out?
I don't think I've got anything else.
Shout out to Mom. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Weather Seekers podcast. Getting to know some of our forecasters here. Meteorologist Spencer Fielding. If you have any questions, just weather-related questions for me or Caleb, or questions for Spencer, any of the people you see on here, feel free to email us. The email address is juneau.weather@noaa.gov, and put in the subject line Weather Seekers podcast. We'll be able to find those questions, and we'll either get email back to you, or we'll just answer them right here on the podcast. So for now, we'll say goodbye. Thanks for joining us, Spencer.
Thank you.